This is a map of Modesto's water and power district, 130 years after its creation. From its inception in 1887, Modesto Irrigation District has done an immense amount of work to protect the Tuolumne River, advocate for its customers, and continue to advance technologies. But it wasn't always that way. In the early days of California's Wild West, water rights went to whomever owned some land down by the river. In some cases, this meant that if you weren't a wheat farmer with land adjacent to a river, you were out of luck. As you can probably imagine, it wasn't easy to convince a person with river rights to share some of that refreshing water with other farmers in the area. And so, a legislative solution would be required. That solution came from a LaGrange school teacher and lawyer by the name of C.C. Wright, who was elected to the California State Assembly. In 1887, he introduced what would become known as the Wright Act, which provided for the organization and government of irrigation districts, as well as the distribution of water for irrigation purposes. With his one legislative goal achieved, Wright finished his term and went home. But his accomplishment ensured future generations the privilege of responsible water stewardship. With the Wright Act in place, the residents of Modesto created the second irrigation district in the U.S. and elected 5 men to a newly created water board. On July 23, 1887, the board of the new Modesto Irrigation District met for the first time. With increased irrigation, the Modesto district would grow, and this new organization would have to ensure there was enough water to go around. The first order of business was water storage. In 1890, MID and Turlock Irrigation District joined forces to start construction on the LaGrange Dam. By 1893, with the dam finished, MID had completed its first project. Despite constant friction from anti-irrigationists who were still not happy about having to share their water, MID completed the canal system by 1903 and was finally able to deliver promised water to farmers. As time went on, it became clear that a growing valley population would need still more water. A short distance up the Tuolumne River from the LaGrange Dam, a spot was found, and plans were made to build the first Don Pedro Dam and powerhouse with TID and the help of San Francisco. In 1923, the highest gravity dam in the world was completed. That same year, the first electric pole was placed in Modesto, and electricity from Don Pedro's powerhouse began turning on the lights of the city. The Desert Valley was now not just a home to an important agricultural area, but also a modern urban center. The next several decades saw the continued growth of Modesto and its water consumption needs. Electricity subscribers increased as the post-war boom led to more homes being built in the area. In 1961, after 3 years of drought and increased water demand from the Modesto and Turlock districts, as well as San Francisco, it had become apparent that Don Pedro couldn't provide enough water for multi-year droughts, and a bond was approved for construction of the new Don Pedro Dam. Then as now, disputes over salmon populations delayed the project for quite some time. Court battles were had over fish counts and water flows. But in 1965, the Supreme Court's decision to not review the case allowed the project to proceed. State-of-the-art designs and technology came together, and by 1971, the new Don Pedro Dam was complete. While the new dam was a major feat, the droughts of 1976 to 1977 brought the water levels of Don Pedro to serious lows. One of the consequences was reduced power output. MID knew that energy conservation needed to be part of future strategies, but that diversified power sources would also need to play a role in Modesto's future. In 1980, MID added MCCLURE Generation Station and the new HOGAN Power Station in 1986. The Woodland Generation Plant was completed in 1993 as a reliable, flexible, year-round source of energy. MID has continued to meet the needs of its more than 120,000 customers by adding second and third units to the generation plant in 2003 and 2011. By 2006, the Ripon Generation Station was added as well. MID's electric service area today covers 560 square miles and serves the diverse residents of Modesto, Salida, Empire, Empire, Waterford, Mountain House, and parts of Escalon, Oakdale, Ripon, and Riverbank. Alternatives like natural gas, solar, wind, geothermal, and even biomass were all considered and adopted throughout the 80s and 90s. Today, more than a third of MID's power comes from renewable sources. MID's role had evolved over the years from simply managing water rights to providing power for a growing population. And by the 90s, that role expanded into treating surface water and providing quality drinking water for that same population. Phase 1 of the Modesto Regional Water Treatment Plant was completed in 1994, with a Phase 2 expansion completed in 2016. MID treats and wholesales up to approximately 67,000 acre-feet of drinking water per year to the city of Modesto. As it looks toward the future, MID will continue to explore and add more renewable energies to its mix of energy sources. But most importantly, it will adhere to its original mission, protecting the valley's water supply. Today, aggressive restrictions and expensive power regulations create new challenges for our community and nation's food supply. And MID will be there, ready to face these challenges. A lot of things can happen through the years, but MID's commitment to providing the best possible service remains the same. We will continue to advocate on our customers' behalf by protecting our water and power resources for future generations.